You aren't crazy, you're being hunted. Right now, someone in your life might be rewiring your reality, and if you don't recognize these 8 psychological weapons, you've already lost the game. First, gaslighting. Gaslighting is not just disagreement or remembering things differently. It's a repeated pattern of denying or distorting reality in a way that makes you doubt your own perception. The psychological lever it pulls is your reliance on trusted people to confirm what's real. When someone consistently says, "that never happened," or "you're too sensitive," in response to concrete events, your brain experiences conflict between what you remember and what you're being told. Over time, many people resolve that conflict by distrusting themselves instead. The difference between gaslighting and normal conflict is openness to clarification. A healthy person can say, "I remember it differently," and still engage with facts and repair. A gaslighting pattern shuts that down. The grounded response is not to argue your memory into submission, but to stop debating reality. State your position once, document things for yourself if needed, and reality check with people who don't benefit from you being confused. Second, love bombing. Love bombing is excessive intensity early on that overwhelms your emotional and cognitive defenses. It works by flooding the brain with dopamine and attachment cues before trust and knowledge have had time to develop. This isn't about someone being excited or affectionate, it's about pressure. The red flag isn't "they like me a lot," it's "everything is moving so fast that my boundaries don't seem to matter." Healthy connection unfolds with consistency and respect for pacing. Love bombing demands acceleration and later uses withdrawal as leverage. The most effective response is slowing things down deliberately and watching what happens when you do. Respect for pace is the signal of sincerity. Third, guilt tripping. Guilt tripping turns empathy into a control mechanism. It exploits the human tendency to equate goodness with self-sacrifice. When someone uses phrases like "after everything I've done for you" or communicates disappointment in ways that imply moral failure, they're trying to make your boundaries feel like betrayals. The key distinction here is between genuine accountability and manufactured guilt. Healthy accountability focuses on specific behaviors and mutual repair. Manipulative guilt makes you responsible for someone else's emotions regardless of fairness. The practical response is to pause and ask whether you actually violated your values or agreements. If the answer is no, the guilt you're feeling is information about pressure, not wrongdoing. Fourth, triangulation. Triangulation happens when someone brings a third person into a two-person issue to gain leverage or avoid direct communication. Psychologically, it triggers fear of exclusion and makes your position feel weaker simply because it's outnumbered. Statements like "everyone agrees with me" or constant comparisons are classic examples. This differs from seeking outside support because support doesn't replace direct dialogue. Triangulation does. The way to dismantle it is to pull the conversation back to where it belongs. Insist on direct communication and refuse to defend yourself to an invisible jury. Fifth, the white knight. This is control disguised as rescue. The white knight positions themselves as indispensable by solving problems in ways that reduce your independence or by subtly contributing to the chaos they later fix. The psychological hook here is dependency. When someone is your only source of stability, leaving feels dangerous. Healthy support increases your skills, confidence, and outside connections. Controlling support narrows your world. The response is to notice whether help leaves you stronger or smaller, and to diversify your support so no single person holds all the power. Sixth, the silent treatment. This is not the same as taking space to cool down. The silent treatment is an unannounced, open-ended withdrawal of communication meant to punish and provoke anxiety. Social disconnection activates the same brain regions as physical pain, which is why this tactic is so effective. The difference lies in structure and intent. Healthy space includes a time frame and a commitment to return. Punitive silence leaves you guessing and chasing. A grounded response is to name the boundary calmly. You're willing to talk when communication resumes, but you won't pursue or apologize just to end the silence. Then you follow through by redirecting your attention elsewhere. Seventh, breadcrumbing. Breadcrumbing keeps you emotionally invested with minimal, inconsistent effort. It relies on intermittent reinforcement, the same mechanism that makes slot machines addictive. Occasional texts, likes, or vague promises create hope without accountability. This is especially common in digital contexts. The difference between breadcrumbing and genuine busyness is consistency and specificity. Someone who is interested but busy still makes clear plans and follows up. The response is clarity. Ask once what the person wants and observe behavior, not reassurance. If consistency doesn't appear, disengaging is an act of self-respect, not drama. Eighth, DARVO, which stands for deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. This tactic shows up when accountability is requested. Instead of addressing the issue, the person denies it, attacks your character or tone, and reframes themselves as the victim. The psychological effect is disorientation. You start the conversation hurt and end it apologizing. Healthy conflict includes acknowledgement and repair even when it's uncomfortable. DARVO turns accountability into a threat. The most effective response is refusing to follow the script. Keep returning to the original issue, and if that's not possible, disengage and document the interaction for your own clarity. These tactics rarely appear alone. More often, they form a cycle. Early intensity, boundary violations, confusion, punishment, small rewards, isolation, and avoidance of accountability. Seeing a pattern doesn't mean you're doomed or foolish. It means your nervous system has been responding to mixed signals designed to keep you off balance. To keep this grounded, it's essential to distinguish psychological control from normal conflict. Healthy relationships include misunderstandings, defensiveness, and mistakes. The difference is repair. In healthy dynamics, honesty doesn't lead to punishment, boundaries don't escalate conflict, and both people are accountable. In controlling dynamics, clarity is penalized and the same confusion repeats. Taking your power back does not mean exposing, outsmarting, or confronting aggressively. Power is internal clarity. It's reducing over-explaining, strengthening outside support, setting small boundaries, and watching how they're received. Respect signals safety. Retaliation signals risk. Finally, context matters. These patterns can appear in romantic relationships, families, friendships, and workplaces. Your response should account for power imbalances and safety. If fear, threats, or intimidation are present, the priority is protection, not communication skills, and professional support may be necessary. Recognizing these 8 patterns doesn't mean the world is full of manipulators. It means you're learning to protect your clarity, autonomy, and emotional health. Awareness is not paranoia. It's a tool that lets you choose relationships where you feel more grounded, more yourself, and more free over time.